Coach, we'll open with a quick comment, and then we'll go from there.
How's everybody doing today?
Excellent.
How are you?
Great. Well, we certainly appreciate your interest in our players, and we appreciate the NFL being interested in our players to have this larger group come to look at the players that we have. Players, obviously, that are going out for the draft, or guys that have done a wonderful job for us here and represented the program really well and had a lot of success, and hopefully our staff and this program has helped them develop an opportunity to create some value for the future. So we're excited about that. It's good to see a lot of old friends from the NFL, at these things. So it's always a fun day.
Coach, do you want to clarify the wrong place, wrong time comment from the presser on Monday? If that had anything to do with NATO's?
There's nothing to clarify. I don't watch basketball coaches' press conferences. I've never watched a basketball. How many years have I been coaching? Never watch one. Never listen to what other people say. That was strictly about our program and what we do. Had nothing to do with anybody else. I don't make any comments about anybody else, and we hope the basketball team does really, really well.
Coach, what have the scouts been asking about Bryce Young and his viability at the next level?
Bryce is somebody that a lot of people are interested in. Hopefully he'll be the first pick in the draft. Nobody knows that for sure. I don't think anybody disagrees that he's one of the outstanding players in this draft. I guess it's just all about what your needs and what your particular feeling, may be about him. But we're certainly hopeful, and we think he's the best player in the draft, and I'm hopeful that he'll have a chance to come out.
What's his biggest selling point in your mind for a team?
Just his production, his consistency in performance, his instinctive ability to play the position, the kind of person that he is in terms of how he prepares and what he does. And, there's really no negatives. The only negative that anybody could bring is, what is his height? And, Drew Brees was always the biggest nemesis Nick Saban ever had, whether it was at Michigan State when he was at Purdue or in the NFL. So, and he was 5'11" something. So anyway, I don't think it's an issue. It wasn't an issue in his college career. And he's going to play against some of the same players in that league that he's played against in the SEC. So we think he's fantastic, and hope that he has a great career.
Coach, you mentioned on Monday that there were 26 mid-year guys. I can remember when you first got here, that number was more like 5 or 6, and it just seems to go up and up and up. How much, now that it's almost the whole class coming in mid-year, how much does that enhance a freshman class's chance to come in and make a quick impact?
Well, I think the freshman class needs to come in and make a quick impact. I think the more guys you have that are mid-year guys, we don't try to talk guys into being mid-year guys, but if they want to do it, I think there's some advantages from a personal, from an academic transition standpoint, as well as you have more time to develop and learn football and be a little more ready to play in the fall. So, but I also look at it like 1/3 of our team, that's their first practice ever as a college player, which we've never had to deal with that before either. So we've got to have some patience in how we develop these players.
This is the fewest number of early entrants we've had in the draft in like a decade. Do you think NIL is playing a pretty big role in it? Because it seems to be a viability for them to come back if they're on the edge.
Well, I would argue in the other direction that we had a couple guys that went out that maybe should have considered staying. But my philosophy hasn't changed. If you're a first-round draft pick, you should go out. If you're a second-round draft pick and you can't improve your draft status, you should go out. Otherwise, you just stay in school. And I don't know if everybody that's going out for the draft is going to be in that situation. I'm hopeful that they are, but I don't know that some of the pre-draft info we got supports that.
A couple more.
Can you talk about Brian Branch, and a lot of people are talking about his football IQ and what he's meant for this team?
I'm sorry, I can't
Brian
hear.
Branch, football IQ, what he means to the team.
Yeah, Brian Branch was an outstanding player for us. He's a fine young man, played really, really well for us, very instinctive. The guy played with great intangibles, lots of toughness, very disciplined guy, was a real team guy, and I think he'll have a great career. I think that a lot of people want to look at him as a safety, and he didn't play that much safety here because he always played star for us, but hopefully that won't be a negative for him.
With Bryce Young as a potential number one, what about him can he step into a team and be kind of a starter immediately, a leader immediately? How is he prepared for that?
Well, you're asking me a hypothetical question that I think Bryce is capable of doing that, but I also think that, as I tell young players that come in our program, you don't want to really put somebody in a position where they're not ready to have success and create value for themselves. So, and I don't think anybody can predict anybody's actual development. But if anybody's capable of doing it, Bryce could.
What do you see in Will Anderson that translates so well to being a good NFL pass rusher?
Well, he's got great size. He's got great ability. He's a very good pass rusher. But you're talking about a guy that's a great person, has throwback competitive character in terms of toughness, work ethic, great leadership, doing all the things that you would want any player on your team to do to play winning football and help other people on your team play winning football. So I can't say enough good things about Will Anderson.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.